Alrighty then. Well, welcome everyone. RFI, once again. Half of us are slightly Christmas themed. The other half don't care. One's on an island and one's in a dark basement. So, welcome back. Thank you all already for joining me tonight. Corparin, Amrek, and Bryn. Should be fun and chaos ensuing. For those who may be watching, RFI is just a little chat show that we do where everyone gets to pick each other's brains about maybe what their character may be going through, what the player side of things, maybe certain decisions made or thought processes going on, and then anyone can ask me any questions, and it also gives me a chance to figure out some things that maybe you guys have been doing for certain reasons. But if anything, it's also a chance for you guys to possibly get a little extra information out of me. I usually am pretty good at not giving away too much, but some things slip. But nevertheless, we're going to just jump straight into it because I have a few questions I need to get off my chest. Usually Polly's a co-host with me, but he is off tonight, so we have a full cast going here today. But my first question, Amrek. The ghosts have been a problem.
Yep.
And now that, to be honest, since you have come under this new condition, you guys haven't really battled anything. And now in this last session, you realize that you're David Blaine. That your bless doesn't work the same as a normal bless does.
Did I actually notice that though? Because I was gonna ask you and I fell asleep. But from my perspective, it made me feel good, and they didn't actually say anything about feeling like shit after I cast it.
The way that bless works, it almost like it gives a pep to the step. It kind of gives you that extra like chance at being successful. So you seem a little bit more chipper. Like there's that almost like liquid luck style feeling from Harry Potter. They just feel like things are better in their favor. And you felt like that. But when they were affected by it, it almost looked like they were sick. Like they didn't feel good. You know, someone who's had a cold for 3-4 days and they're just dragging ass. That's how they looked. So you didn't really need to get a verbal confirmation on it. Maybe you might want to talk and be like, hey, can I try this again? And you guys tell me exactly what you're feeling. But you can get the gist that it didn't work as intended. For everyone else, at least.
Interesting. Yeah, from a player perspective, I'm definitely excited to see how I can apply that. Being able to bless myself in Bane, assuming that we're not fighting undead.
True. But any insights? I mean, obviously, there's an easy insight that you could say, yeah, it's probably connected to that. But do you think Amrek would have any understanding, or do you have any thoughts on why, or...
I don't know if Amrek's quite there yet, because this is the first time he's really getting to stretch his magic, really. Especially in combat scenarios. Like you said, we haven't really fought anything. And having his channel divinity also be kind of like those inky black tendrils that probably some more of an image of being like undead necromancy type stuff.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to clarify that for you because I saw a few people's reactions to when I changed what it should look like. They initially came out and they looked like those inky black tendrils, but less in the sense of, Trentimere tendrils that have happened in the past, and much more like slippery vines cased in ink that are like dripping with...
More like Venom symbiote type stuff.
To a degree, yeah, but think more like roots, like if vines lived in swamp.
Like a muck monster.
to a degree, yeah. Because the undead aspect to it, bogs and swamps are just constant levels of decaying plant matter, and so it's that flavor to it. It's sort of the best portion of a nature thing that would also show a death side of it as well. So I just wanted to clarify that it wasn't like Trentimere tendrils, it was like vines from a swamp.
Yeah, but as of now, he's definitely leaning towards that, probably because he's undead thing, because like one or the other, it would have been, okay, maybe my magic just works differently because of Umbros, but having them both kind of one after the other kind of show that difference from what I guess it should be, definitely kind of invokes that feeling of death, which makes me feel kind of interested considering what happened when Amrek at least seemingly started to come back to life just a little bit when all his bones popped when he woke up that one morning.
Yep.
On what's going on there.
Fun stuff. Unfortunately, Amrek hasn't been the focal point too much besides the little him and Polly interaction. and getting told to stop popping his bones, has sort of relegated to the back of the group again. Bryn, you've finally shown everyone your new mirror.
My buddy.
And
Cuckoo, cuckoo.
specifically,
My friend Capone, stop it.
worried about a certain person's reaction, and they seem actually pretty okay with.
Yeah, I was real shocked on that one.
I mean, just the sheer fact of how he reacts to anything Trenton related, and
But yeah, knowing the fact that like the Ice Queen killed his buddies and like almost killed him, she was.
that his mom
Ready for it.
supposedly killed her, and
Exactly, all of that. Yeah, I was ready for a
how does
fit.
what does Bryn think about Polly's seemingly lackluster reaction? I mean, he gave a reasoning behind to how he was thinking. You know, oh, it's pre-temple her, so it's before she went all lichy. But I mean, you had the visions, so you know what she was like. I mean,
It wasn't all
roughly-
sunshine and rainbows before either.
Yeah. So you at least know, obviously, a little bit more than everyone else, but Bryn's not the most forthcoming and descriptive when it comes to certain things that she doesn't have direct interaction with. It's like if she sees something, it's hard for her to be like, this is what happened. She just goes, some shit happened.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It's a Bryn thing. Just like Nori overanalyzes.
Yeah.
It's got to be a balance.
We meet in the middle, it's fine.
Exactly. But yeah, just the sheer fact that, I mean, obviously, Nori feels a certain type of way. Hello, Nori. And you tell everyone, and the person that you're expecting to probably be on the level of Nori-ness is just completely opposite left field. Like, what does Bryn make?
Yeah, that was shocking. She was not expecting that. And that's why I was like, I'm just gonna incite that because I didn't believe it at all.
I didn't know if he rolled for anything, so I don't even know if he was
Wow.
lying or telling the truth, so.
I don't know. But she's probably gonna just keep an eye on it just because she's like, a lot of bad things happened with it. Even though she's different than what he thought, she's like,
Mhm.
something seems a little off there. I don't know. It threw her for a loop, that's for sure.
Okay. Now we move to my first question for Corparin. Again, you guys have not really had any combat whatsoever. And it sort of shows, especially for Corparin's side of things in this last interaction.
That hurt
It
a
was
lot.
just a complete bulldozing of Corparin over and over and over again. Which, I mean, made Amrek's birthday, but Corparin, I mean, you guys have been out of combat for a very, very long time. So it makes sense that, you know, you guys wouldn't be as slick and smooth with maneuvers and what to do next, which is why I wasn't really pushing for you guys to, you know, make decisions quickly and allowing you all to sort of go out on a turn together. Rather than like having to worry about initiatives and who's going first and what. But yeah, so what is Corparin mentally thinking of and being like after like the first real sort of combat-y experience that you guys are reintroduced to? You just get absolutely demolished.
Honestly, he felt so fucked up. One thing after another. It's like he could not catch a break that session. Freaking the Rock first attacks him. He can't do anything in cloud form. He's completely confused. Then he's just like, I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna pull a Richaw. I'll be Richaw. And that didn't work. So he was really flustered that whole day, going around. He's just all like, I can't catch a fucking break. I was in one frog and out the other, and on top of that, it did start hit him. It's like, why is everything from my past attacking me now? He feels like he's being punked. This isn't Total Drama Island, is it? Because this really feels that way.
We'll have to find out.
I have to get the name of this island, the actual name.
Yeah. But that brings us actually to a question for everybody. This island
It's fuckery.
and the monsters within. Only the monsters you guys have dealt with so far. There are many other beasts and other creatures to deal with while in here. Let alone finding out that this is influenced by many different planes and many different monsters and type of creatures exist here. Obviously, situationally, you guys stepped in it, but knowing everything that you know, and you guys being of decent level, even though that last interaction definitely got some of you guys very close to dead very quickly. I mean, I had been telling you guys this entire time up until this point that you guys are at a new level of danger. And so the things that you're going to encounter aren't going to give a fuck, and they're going to be smart. But
Well, not only that, you have literally said throughout this entire thing with us traveling here that this island was a thing.
Yeah, this island specifically.
And then we released something accidentally that we're probably gonna have to deal with at some point.
Oh god, I hope
Yeah,
we didn't find this
that's the
island.
one thing that I've been thinking about the entire time is whatever we release in the boat, eventually that shit's gonna catch up to us.
But even without that threat looming over you guys, there's enough on this island already to definitely have to contend with. So what is everyone's thoughts on... Let's take it back to the point where Nori comes out of her communes and goes, okay, there's a bunch of planes of existence here, there's a bunch of different types of creatures here, Fae, Fiend, Amrek's powerful and dead, and she lists everything that she finds out. And what is... Obviously everyone is still pointed forward with, okay, well, we have a task to do, let's get it done, but what was everyone's thoughts when she came out saying all these things?
I mean, Corparin was like, is it another one of those situations where there's portals open all over the goddamn place and we just can't see them? Like when we were chasing Barnabas up north? Or is it just that this island literally sits on a rift somewhere? Or it has some weird property to it that it's pulling magic from everywhere? Because I'm assuming I don't understand that those were devil toads. It's just I sent it away and I sent it to the Nine Hells and it came back completely fine, and I was just like, weird.
Yes, but you know what, Corparin? Make an intelligence check.
Oh shit.
You're always writing about how you're the smartest. Live up to it.
I have to make sure I have these things open
I
now.
know it's someone else.
Well, it wasn't a history check. It's just an intelligence check.
Doesn't matter.
It was a straight 9. Or 9.
You're not sure if the toad going through the Nine Hells didn't take damage because it's fiendish, or since it was in the air, rocketing through the air when you sent it, it probably never hit the ground to incur any sort of damage. And when it got booped back into the world, it was still flying at the same speed. So you're unsure which one it is.
Okay.
Nothing like a definite maybe.
That's a hard maybe, baby.
I mean, he still hates it that it was a toad, and he's been in a toad's mouth 5 times now.
Let's make it a good half dozen.
Yeah, no. I should have burned the forest line when the toadlings or the tadpoles started coming out of the water.
Oh, so you really just want to grant Amrek's birthday wish. Gotcha.
Blow out the candle, Amrek.
You know damn well if we burn this forest down, it's gonna burn us.
Well, no, if
There
Corparin
will
burns
be a
the forest
reprisal.
down, Nori will kill him. And then Amrek's wish comes true. So,
But he'll feel unfulfilled because he didn't do it himself.
No, I don't need that. I just really
like
need
he'd
your
be
head
fine.
on the stick.
I feel like he'd be fine just watching you
Yeah.
get tortured to death.
Yeah, I think you would too.
Damn it. Damn it.
So the other two, what do you guys think of when Nori came out of her commune?
I mean, I think it just adds on to the level of danger that we've already seen. Just alone the fact that despite everything that kind of Nori said, and our one encounter with rocks was that they were solitary creatures, and to see this many kind of just makes it seem like definitely everything on this island is going to be danger times 10. And it's definitely not going to be fun. Just in that last encounter with the toads, like they could have very easily just ran away. And if I hadn't gotten lucky with the vines, who knows what would have happened to Polly if he had gotten out of the mouth at 200 feet in the air. We probably would have even found the body either.
Yeah. It was more of a just anything that we know is just gone. Like, this is a blank slate. This is everything new. If you think you know it, sure. Good luck with that. Use it as a base, but don't think you know everything. And mostly just, we're gonna be up against a lot of shit because God knows how many freaking bones we're gonna be trying to find. And if they are scattered around this whole fucking island, I'm assuming we're gonna have fun with a lot of little friends that are really big friends.
The best part about it is that even if you try to sleep, you're still on the island.
Yup.
So you guys have noticed that you guys have been part of, as the prey, a situation of hunting on this island, and how this ecosystem seems to sort of work. It seems the larger creatures create the most chaos during their hunting, and then the smaller creatures, which I mean smaller in quotes, then come out and sort of not only feast on the remains, but also feast on those feasting on the remains. So it definitely becomes if shit goes down, it's very anti-nature, where everything usually disperses from the area, and it's more of like a call to dinner. And everything comes here.
It's a call for them, and it's we gotta get the fuck out of here for us.
Exactly. So it gives you a sense of any loud noises, you guys are ringing a dinner bell. Heavily and quickly. And yes, to Bryn, your points, this island is very much you can use what you know as a base, but definitely don't hold too much water to it. Because even Nori, trying to aim into the toad's brain, that toad's brain's not there. It's somewhere else on this creature's body. Well, I mean, just taking after Corparin.
Great, I have a species of toad that takes after me. Wonderful.
Well, I mean, enough toads have now eaten you a few times that your DNA is starting to mix.
Oh god.
But yeah, no, this is definitely a dangerous island. You're going to interact with creatures of varying degrees of size and skill, and even if it's something that you know, it is going to vary wildly from its base block stat. I had told this to Bryn, as she asked me, what was the exact word you say?
I don't even remember my exact words anymore, man.
I think you asked me, just like I had mentioned, that when you guys interacted with the ship that Racha put back together and told you guys you were way under-leveled for that situation. She asked if this situation was the same thing, and I said, no, it's not. This is actually, when you originally got Luke, Corparin, you were level 7 or 8?
Sounds about right, yeah.
I know you weren't double digits yet.
No, yeah.
So this
We're under
entire
there.
interaction was initially created for your guys' level at that time. So you guys have now almost doubled your level since then. And so I had to double everything here.
You really didn't have to.
Some things are stayed the same. Like the amount of rocks.
You didn't have to make them harder, man. You could have just left it. What
the amount of rocks.
You made more work for yourself, man.
Oh no, it's simply just going ×2.
Yeah, it's more work. That's another button that you gotta click.
I can handle a couple buttons. Some things are still the same. The size of the creatures and how they work, and the amount of like the rocks, like that was always to be a thing. And how sort of this ecosystem works, and the towns and everything, all that was already pre-planned, but other stuff that you guys would actually have direct interaction with, they're going to be souped up versions of themselves.
Great. Why is Corparin's things always... It was a low-level task. You should have done it then. But now you have to deal with it at a higher level.
Let's just say a good portion of you guys' early tally marks were fucking not going to that island. I was like, son of bitches, just go to the island. Like, nope, don't trust it. Not going on it.
I hope you've learned your lesson to not expect us.
Did not like Luke though.
I just
Everyone did
made
not
more
trust
tallies.
him. No one trusted Luke, and Corparin's like, I just need to get it done. Need to get it done. Nope. 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 He's cursed.
But so just to help clarify, this island is not it's not designed to kill you guys or this to be over leveled or anything like that.
I'm pretty sure all of these creatures would kill us if they had the opportunity, but it's fine.
If they have the opportunity, yeah, but they're not like you guys set foot on the island and all of a sudden it's like it's go time, You guys are just going into their habitat and having to work around it. But yeah, so this island's not designed to immediately hunt you down and kill you. It's designed to be challenging for your current level. And I mean, some things are different because the whole loot chest skull thing, you guys, it's only been 2 weeks since that's happened. So yes, maybe if you'd done it in the past, it would have been a simple, oh, there's his body, dig up all his bones, and let's go. But now...
We gave you time. That was our problem. We gave you too much time.
Especially with having only one session a week, I even have more time to think about stuff. It's like...
Oh, God.
You know what? Fights and riddles. Let's do them together. I had fun in the temple.
Hell no. Hell no. Riddle Master is not accepting that challenge.
Oh no, and
Too late, my dude.
you took the loot, buddy.
God damn it.
So yeah, I just wanted to clarify that this place isn't. You guys aren't over leveled. If anything, it got leveled up to your guys' level. So it's definitely doable. Nothing is out of the realm of possibility here.
I'm also hearing is that we should start doing tasks as they appear and not rather put them off for years or a year.
Well, I mean, that's just good, common practice to do generally.
And you know the group.
Not with Corparin's cursed objects. He can suffer.
The only time that has ever helped you guys is waiting to go to it is Pawn taking over the keep. It was the only time it was beneficial.
We didn't have to deal with that bullshit.
Well, I mean, you still did, but it was all under-leveled for you guys, so it was pretty much a cakewalk. And the only bonus is that, he put an enchantment on the place to clean itself up every day. So, there's that. But everything else, yeah, the longer it goes, the test could completely change. There can be a lot of new things added to it. I mean, if you got to think, if someone's like making a dungeon for something, you give them more time to make more dungeon, it's just gonna get harder. So, now there's another question for all three of you. When Nori veered off the path of the decided, this is what we're gonna do, and then she rolled one of the best intelligence checks for her gritting, and then fell through the hole and landed into this giant chasm of a chamber. What was everyone's initial thought once they realized the size of this thing?
I'll start off here. Because Nori was just trying to infiltrate the rock nest, and I fell asleep and I woke up to a full fucking nap and Nori in a dungeon by herself. So it was very fun.
It was dangerous.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the last few minutes of that VOD.
Bryn is very much ready to hold this against her. She's gonna be like, so it's not just me or any of us, you do it too.
I was totally fine with her just coming back and telling us, I found it. Let's go. But when I heard her that she decided to start looking for it, I was like, oh, that's cool. Take your initiative. And then she fell into the hole. And then I'm just like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Like, I am worried that it's a one and done. Like, you only have 5 minutes to get down the hole or whatever. Like, once the first one's gone, so everybody would have to like jump in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and she was just one. So I'm like, if we're able to go find it, are we even gonna be able to go freaking help her? Because she wasn't able to get up. But does that mean we can get down? Who knows?
Well, the best part is going to be when, in about half an hour, when Polly does his next sending.
She's under.
It's not going to go through.
I don't know about that. But if it does go through, that is going to be one clutch history check that she's going to have to make to be able to tell Polly exactly which nest she got to. You hear that, Nori? Better start practicing history checks.
Right to the dice gods.
If there was such a thing, that would be the time to pray to whatever god you need to do whatever you gotta do, sacrifice chickens, I don't know, but...
Dear Twitter gods and Twitch gods, please listen to this call.
And she's on top of a bunch of worked stone, so there is no communing. Communing with nature down here for her.
Oh.
But yeah.
Really, I'd stopped to locate objects this morning. Might have.
How far does that go?
Like 1,000 feet.
Okay. Remember, she was falling for a minute and a half. Oh, you were asleep. She's falling. She fell for a minute and a half before finally getting into the chamber. So
we need like a constant locate person spell on us at all times.
I mean, that puts her at what, 600 or 900 feet down. So I'd have to be like right over her in order for it to.
Well, it was a minute and a half down, and then she free fell from the chamber another 100 feet.
Oh, cool.
So she's at about 1,000 feet.
Nice.
So you need to be like on top of her.
Why, Nori? Why?
You have proficiency. She says she has proficiency in history.
Hopefully.
I don't know. I'm like not surprised. Nori went and like did her little exploring thing. It's nature, and she's gonna want to see all the cool things. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was like, my dude, you're by yourself, away from us. I know you forgot. I'm still gonna bug you about it, Nori.
I lied.
What wives do?
Theoretically, do the thing that we use forever ago with what's called animal. Do I have animal messenger?
I have animal messenger.
You have it, yeah. So we could theoretically do that, I guess.
But I don't know where she is, and I'd have to have been to that location prior.
Yep.
She's gone. If we can't find her in the next half an hour, she's gone.
Oh no.
You know what?
Go back to Ladash.
I should have stabbed her with a dagger with Branding's fight before she left. That would have been smart.
Bryn's got her backup.
I continually
Oh,
bug Nori. Well, bug Meta about it, not Nori necessarily, but because God no, I would never say that to Nori.
Well, new rule for solo events in solo journeys. I'm stabbing you with Branding Smite before you leave.
bleeds out. Bleeds out before they actually get to what they're doing.
Oh, that would be funny in her wild shape form, so. Branding Smite, Salamander. And she's back.
It's like take a pinprick, just like take the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Nick.
And actually, probably Nori would be the number one person who would say no to your branding, since that's something of what Zelik did to her.
Well, sorry to stomp on the PTSD, but I guess the alternative is death.
Getting lost forever by yourself.
You underestimate her choice of death. So that was Amrek's thought process on the size and scope of the chamber that she fell into.
What is the ratio currently of that chamber?
Well, let me pull it up.
Because she was the size of a plant in that chamber.
Oh yeah, there's some bushes bigger than her in there. Alright. Let me zoom out. Here we go. It's about 400. About 250. not
No,
too
the
bad.
temple. Well, that sounds like the size of the lava cave. A little smaller than the lava cave.
Yeah, this one's more rectangular, but yeah. It's around that size.
And we couldn't see the full expansion of that lava cave, so we.
It was also because there's a bunch of light on one side of the entire place, so you didn't have like great lighting for that specifically. Until you started blowing everything up. Then that helped.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that map's way too big.
Nope, it's as big as it needs to be.
I know it is, but to
And-
me it's big.
The fact that Nori has tripped about 7 traps already.
Just from walking around.
Mm-hmm. First floating around, and then walking.
Sounds about right.
Most of that was in fart cloud form.
Oh my god, it can sense her in fart cloud form. Fart cloud form. Oh, it's cursed.
Should be fun.
I remember, what was it? Like a wrecking ball, right? A wrecking axe or something? Maze, yeah. And that's the only one I can remember that she tripped.
Yeah, it was like a spiked metal ball that was attached to 2 ropes, basically. And it got launched out, and then as she re-triggered it, it got sucked back in.
On and off. Whole place is gonna come down before we even get there.
Possibly. She's already destroyed 1 pillar.
Well, if the complex collapses, I'm pretty sure we'll know where she went.
There might be a slight depression. Bryn?
I don't know. I'm curious if I'm curious to see what is gonna happen when we actually get to see more. Is it like obviously there's traps in it, but is it more of a like find the needle in the haystack type thing, or you have to fight actual things to get the prize?
Well,
Quote unquote.
she did hear howling
Yes, she did.
at the end of last session, so
Could be both though.
true. I have given you guys
Knowing
plenty of
me, it's
interactions where you're supposed to run. Unfortunately, half the time you don't understand that until
It's too late.
it's a little too late, especially with your guys' first choices, usually. It's like, what was that? We gotta go check it out. And then it's like, that thing's really big and it's real close. Now we should run. It's like, oh, it's too late. That thing too fast. All right. Any questions for me or each other?
Well, for me, circling back to what we kind of talked on earlier, where Amrek's new bone popping thing was kind of shoved off the side and put on the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
What were both of your reactions to that? Like, did you guys think about it? The fact that all of a sudden he just chose a bit of sign of life, or was it like, okay, that's neat?
You chose a what? Sorry.
Shows sign of life.
Remember, he also looked more pink and alive during that time.
I was just like, I could make a song from that. He really didn't take too much into consideration that he was just popping bones at that point. It was just like, that's a neat trick.
There's someone that's trying to show off with a car outside.
Beginner,
Sorry,
you have a big
got distracted.
penis.
I know, right? I don't know. It was a little weird. I don't know if it's a good sign or a bad sign. Like, I know you said like the whole like, oh, he's more pink. But I'm worried that it's like, is he actually getting better? Is it like fake? Is it real? I need to talk to someone about it. Is basically like, we need to figure your shit out, man.
Richard's asking if Corparin's ready to get his seduction on. I'm not sure with what.
The
I
rock,
don't know.
obviously. Seduce the rocks, Corparin.
I'm just gonna have a flock of rocks at my command. That would be amazing.
The rock.
Become one. The rock flock. He's like, Richard, welcome back home. I increased our flock, literally.
What you don't realize is that Richard's in the middle of the rocks as the king.
He said to save Nori from whatever is howling.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah.
He's either
Find your
looking for.
soulmate, Corparin.
If it's a lichen in this temple, or if it's just, I'm gonna find a pet down here or something. I swear.
That's one way of thinking about it, I guess. I mean, Nori has a pet name for Bryn, so it's one way you can think about it more.
I feel like it's not what I'm looking for down here, but
You're just
Wait,
apparently never looking for it now. So
Sometimes love finds you.
and bites you in the ass. Yeah, totally.
I mean, that tracks. At least for Corparin.
The bird is saying that he has control of all birds.
Yep. He's got from chickens to rocks. He controls and runs them all.
And he thinks he's not a good leader.
It's always the ones he doesn't want to lead.
I mean, he's on his way to being his own god, so.
Another question for you guys, and this is for the full panel. Obviously, this whole Luke situation, you guys are following the next step as logically as you can. with your interactions so far. This being pretty much the second step, because the first step was finding the chest. And second step would be you guys following what the chest has told you. But say for sake of sanity that there's 5 things, 5 different situations to get a grouping of bones of Luke together. If this is the first one, how do you think, at least from what you've seen so far, the other ones are going to go? If there's more. This honestly could just be one crazy dungeon that has all the pieces sort of mixed in different rooms. Or this could be just the first step in getting bones from different portions of the island. What do you guys think? I'd say, what are your hopes and what are you dreading? How about that? That makes it a little easier.
Well, it'd be hopeful that it's all in one place. That'd be great, and we just have to push
I hope
through.
it's not in one place.
Yeah.
I kind of go the opposite way and hope it's not, because I feel like the more of it is centralized, the harder it's going to be.
Like, not even that, though, because I feel like, for my thought is, it's spread around the island. He got this poor man's bones washed up, and someone was like, you are going to be my special victim. And he got scattered all around this place as this riddle. And that's how we're going to see this whole island. In its all of its glory.
Okay, so that's the hope, and what are we dreading?
Any more of what I just dealt with the day prior.
So,
I've been
Corparin's dreading toads and birds.
They're my worst enemies, it seems. I can only be killed by birds and rocks.
Hey. Take that fucking back.
Amrek has that title.
You're not the worst enemy. My father's already has a contract on my soul. It's okay.
I honestly think I'm dreading something that's not even related to the Luke body, like, whole thing.
You're fatty.
Then what are you dreading?
Fucking getting those good ideas popping up, and then you go, oh, look, it's the leader. Like, I don't want to do that right now, man. Stop it. Like, every time you did that, I was just like, son of a bitch, Val, stop.
Nope, that's why I do it.
I know.
You just reinforce in everyone's mind that you're the
I know, I'm doing it to myself.
to the
I can't
mother
stop.
and the leader of the group. You are the almighty and wise one that comes with the plan.
Oh, at this point, Bryn doesn't think Corparin sees her as that mother figure. So, just FYI. Yeah, that happened recently.
I guess I'm gonna have to start calling you mom again.
Please don't.
Yeah, that's not.
Or
It's
just
not
find
weird
it
at all.
Awkward.
The bank of Mombryn.
But I'm honestly kind of dreading what's going to happen if and when we get down there, because it's going to be Amrek's first time in a dungeon or temple-like space since all of this happened.
Yeah.
I'm dreading our combat utility in this current situation. We barely were able to stop 3 toads from running away with 3 of us before getting like 200 feet away.
200 feet up, 350 feet
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. So
Amrek didn't take any negatives from that. He saved Folly. He missed with his javelins, but he hasn't used his javelins in so long, even longer since we
Bryn
fought.
got to use her sword in the echo sheath. It was great.
The
Dagger, yeah.
Or the dagger, yeah.
Amrek's also just glad that he is discovering that his magic is different before we're in a really big fight. Like, if I had Bane the whole scene, we were all being absolutely...
Alright, we're all blessed. Man, why do I feel like I'm coming down with something?
To be fair, like if that's the case, I feel like Amrek is just gonna be like, Corparin, stay still. Everyone walk away. And I'm just gonna get sick all of a sudden. Corparin's gonna come down with like a nasty case.
Oh, I've got so many things for you, buddy. Don't you worry about it. Being baned is the least of your worries.
Oh, wonderful.
But talking about combat, yet again, say, because it's obvious that Nori has at least half an hour to deal with whatever she's set off in this place before Polly's even going to send to her. Which I understand Polly was nodding off a little bit last night too, or else he probably would have sent before she started doing the grid thing, which I mean he technically did, but it was after she had already fallen in the hole, so we couldn't retcon the fact that she fell in. So, but with Nori having to deal with what she's going to have to deal with for the next half hour, and already burned a wild shape, burned 2 high-level spells, it burned a few spells already for healing as well, which, I mean, it actually surprised me that she's like, alright, now I'm gonna fly around for a little bit. I'm like, you've burned a lot of spells. Do you really want to start flying around? But she's obviously gonna have to deal with whatever's down here and unleashed. That means if you guys are able to contact her, get to her location and get down and into the hole, say everything just... I mean, you
Goes
guys...
perfectly to plan, 100%
Yeah, you guys have the
fine.
fart clouds, so I mean, you could technically get there ASAP. And if the hole's open, you could get down to her pretty quickly. But then it's going to be a minute of literally sitting there watching as you guys turn into corporealness before you can even interact with what's going on. But unless Nori pulls many aces out of hats and is able to take care of any and everything that she's dealt with down here, you guys are going to be dropping into battle. Most likely. Let alone, as she deals with the stuff in here, she might unleash more things. So, the sheer fact that you guys are going to be dropping straight into battle, if all that goes perfectly up until that point, I mean, perfectly is a way to say it, but if you guys are able to get to her as fast and as easily as possible, are you guys, because it's been a while for combat, are you guys cooking up plans, getting some wombo combos ready? And without the bird, this is your first combat without the bird.
There's no sniper on the roof.
I mean, it's not so much that he was just the sniper, but he was the distraction, he was the get behind, he always put himself to help give you guys advantage, you fighters, and then he would disengage. So, there's one of your heavy utility people is gone.
No.
Okay, good. Well,
At
I
least
would suggest
I don't know of anything.
possibly going over your spell lists, going over your weapons, and...
No, I mean, I think Amrek's strategy is kind of the same as always. It's a little too late to go over spells at this point. So, I mean, what I have equipped is what it's going to have to go with. But, I mean, to kind of your point, all of that would have to go just about perfect. And I don't... Like, Nori, is, like you said, she's already kind of low on resources. She doesn't have any ways out. It would have to be kind of a miracle, or Polly would have to divine intervention in order for us to even make it to her.
Let's go, Polly.
I mean, I can speak for Polly on this one. He's ready to pull the trigger.
Ooh,
No.
See?
Oh, he's always ready to pull the trigger. I mean...
As long
I'm
as it's
here
not
for
aimed
it.
at me, he can do whatever he wants.
I'm here for it. It always... I know y'all think it doesn't go out into our favor, but it always fucking does. Because we get together, we get what he asked for. It might not be the way we thought it was going to happen, but it happened.
If he decides to do it, he better he better go over his wording
Just
with
warn
us
us first. It's fine.
so we can prepare. Literally wake up in a bed that we have no clue how we got there, with a boat that we got somehow paid for.
We got Nori. It's fine.
It's all gonna come down to how he words it.
I know. I'm here for him trying it if he thinks we need to. I know everybody else is always like, ooh. I'm like, do it.
Push the button. But that's even if he hits it. His track record's pretty good, but still, it's a big ask. But yeah, I mean, if all goes well and she's able to stay alive, but hasn't been able to take care of whatever is unleashed, then you guys are gonna be dropping into combat. I would suggest possibly brushing up on your stuff. Maybe getting some basic, like, okay, this move, this move, this move is like my basic set. Your A-B move. You need your backup move, so if sometimes by your initiative order, what you had planned gets all fucked up, you have something to fall back on. Because, like I said, it's been a while for combat. And I sort of used the Toad situation as a breaker into, okay, we're going to be moving back into combat. Everyone needs to start doing their turns back to the speed that they need to. Every turn, you get 60 seconds. That's it.
Question.
Yeah.
So when I threw the thingy,
Yeah.
the dagger, that thing, you said I couldn't throw that one again, but then since I have like 3 attacks,
Yeah.
would I be able to throw it and then use my sword?
Yes.
Or no? Okay.
Yeah, because I'd be like throwing and then pulling out your sword and attacking.
Okay.
But you would have to not have your shield in your hand.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Just because mechanically that's a lot.
No,
to
yeah,
work
that's
out.
why I was like, what would need to happen?
If you had your
arm
dagger
yourself?
already in your hand, then I would allow you to throw it and then unsheath your sword with the shield in your hand. But if it's in the sheath and you go to take it out and throw it, you can't unsheath 2 separate weapons, just time-wise. Unless you really practiced.
Bryn just needs to start twiddling with her knife all the time.
Well, I mean, I understand that the spellcasters, I sort of given them their own unique thing, like being able to change their spells to fit their way. The same thing with you fighter types. You guys can work on specific techniques to make them slightly different. Like a bait and switch. Instead of just switching your position, especially with the smaller members of your group, you could learn to bait and switch and push. So instead of just, the person being there and you being here and you switch.
Bryn already has that on lock.
What was that? Oh yeah, you're yeet.
I just have to roll in that one.
I don't want to get copyright strike from Bryn.
Bryn's got that on. Bryn's got that down. Bait and switch, and he's gone. But something like that, like you guys can, if you have an idea for how you want to possibly change it to be just a little bit different, nothing too crazy, but different enough, I'd say, yeah, definitely, I'd set up a system for you guys to work on it and make all the checks possible, and you could do it. Again, just like with the spell stuff, it's going to take a lot of practice and a lot of successful checks to get it done, but it's still in the realm of possibility. Because you need to make it so second nature that in the middle of combat, you can still do it. But yeah, so even for the martial types, there's stuff out there that you can do. So practice, practice, practice. Ask questions about combat now, rather than when you're in the middle of it.
Am I still able to do the blur and haste thing? I didn't lose that somewhere, right?
No.
Okay.
That goes for you too, Nori. And Racha. If there's something that you want to work on, definitely reach out to me. But if
Oh shit.
if any combat questions need to get asked about mechanically how something works, let's hash it out now, because it's going to be part of your 60 seconds if you're asking me mechanics questions. Now, obviously, if it's something like, okay, I know there's a pillar in my way, how big's the pillar, can I go around it? Then I won't take that from your time. But if you're like, so the spell says that I can do this, this, and this, can I do this? And I'll be like, no. And you lost 20 seconds. Let's go. Just to make everything flow a little faster, because...
Double checking, because I know I will forget, and I will write it down so I have it down. Unsheathing the thing is bonus. And taking it out.
Unsheathing any one-handed weapon is part of your free action.
Cool.
But if you are unsheathing two separate weapons, that would take... It takes too long to do that. Because even though you have so many actions per your turn, like the attack action, especially those who have multiple attacks, the way that works is like you have your sword out and you go pop, 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 rather than being able to freeze that in the middle, go pop, pop, do a pirouette, and then pop. It doesn't
I'm not
work.
Racha, I know.
Yeah, you got 6 seconds for your entire turn, so your movement, everything, is all supposed to be jam-packed in there. So if you're trying to do too much, yeah, that happens. So for Amrek and Bryn, when you guys do your attack action and you get multiple attacks, you have to do those attacks back to back. You can't break that up. Obviously with Action Surge, you get another action that you can use in attack. So you can do your attack action, pop, pop, do something else, and then do your Action Surge for the next 2 attacks. Or 3 attacks, however many you have. But you can't like take the attack action, do 1 attack, do something, and then do the second attack. And then Action Surge and do that again. When you take the attack action, you just get 2 attacks per action. So it's just like 2 swings.
Question. Is Hellish Rebuke considered an attack?
It's a reaction.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the don't touch me butthead.
Yeah.
At least that's what I used it as.
You can't actively use Hellish Rebuke.
Okay.
It's only a reaction when you take damage from an attack.
How dare you attack me? I attack you back.
But it is considered an attack.
It is considered an attack. Okay.
Yes, because just like it burns your reaction too, just so you know that.
Mm-hmm.
So you
I wouldn't be able to
reaction attacks, opportunity attacks, because that's basically what it is. It's an opportunity attack, but it has no limit on range because that person just hit you.
Yeah, I only asked because Hurl Through Hell states that you have to hit a creature with an attack in order to pop that off.
You can't pop features and traits on reactions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Because reactions are literally just their own thing. Features and traits, unless it says you can use it as a reaction, like Hellish Rebuke, the features and traits need to be sort of activated, or they're something that you do on your turn.
Okay. Yeah, just because this one says no action required. So this was a little up in the air for that one.
Yeah, it just means that you don't have to spend any of your turn economy on it. It can just be a consequence of your attack. But it still needs to be on your attack.
Got it.
So whenever you see wording like that on your attack or on an attack, that means you took the attack action and you did it. Hellish Rebuke is an attack, but it's not an attack action. It is a reaction.
Got it. Okay. I mean, I only can do Hellish Rebuke once a day, so...
I mean, you're not fully a tiefling, so...
Yeah. So it's not something I'm, like, completely relying upon, so...
Yeah.
It's just like... If I can do a little extra damage, cool. But no, I don't care.
I mean, it's
Pretty sure when I was a warlock, I used it more on my butthead partner in the party than anyone else.
Nice.
Just decided to turn Rachel into a chicken.
Fried chicken. Amrek's hungry. So, any
What is-
other questions on any of your guys' features, traits, any of that stuff?
As far as I go, I'm pretty well versed on my kit, I think. The only thing I don't really know about is how my spells are different from standard, but I have a feeling the only way I'm finding out is casting them, so.
You have to try and see.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
Should be fun.
No, he's gonna hate me. I have Circle of Death still, and I just reread it. It's a sphere, not just a circle.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so it also kills things up, too. Up and down.
Yeah. I was just like, oh crap! So I have to make sure no one's within the epicenter of the real risen circle.
Yep.
That goes up 60 feet into the air.
It's a big old orb of death.
Wonderful.
So not only did you kill all those squirrels, you also killed all those worms, insects, everything that lived underground.
God damn it! And I didn't get nothing from that.
Well, unfortunately, killing a bunch of beetles doesn't give you experience.
Corparin just hates insects all of a sudden. He's like,
You just got a legendary item called the Eye of Amrek. Get ready to die.
luckily no one's seen that spell up close yet.
Yeah, since the timeline changed.
Speaking of that, just looking at my inventory list.
Mm-hmm.
So when we did the bard battle thing, we got a magical sippy cup.
Yeah.
Would that have gone away?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to have this.
Nope.
Okay.
But it said anything you guys gained during that time.
Okay. I must have forgotten to take it out.
No worries. It's understandable.
You can borrow my sippy cup.
It's not magical, Corparin. Just magical to
It's
Polly.
It's magical to me because it was Paul.
Also not yours. You still have Polly City Cup?
To be fair, it was left behind, so one man's trash.
And it's Corparin's treasure. And he hasn't brought it up, nor has he said anything, and it just hides away in his bag.
It is Bella's personal sauna.
She just warms the water in it, and
Yep, puts the lid on, and she's like, nope. Don't want to talk to anybody. Whenever you guys go into Corparin's room, which no one ever does, the sippy cup's just sitting on the coffee table, and out of the little sippy area, there's just some steam that's coming up.
Corparin set up his perfect that no one will come into his room and bother him. Also means that Corparin would, if he died in his room, no one would come and check on him.
No,
I mean,
I'm sure.
we would go, where the fuck has Corparin been? It's been too peaceful.
Like, oh no, did something happen to Bella? And then they'd go check.
There's no one annoying us on a daily basis. Something's obviously wrong.
Duly noted.
We haven't heard music in far too long. It's been nice, but unsettling now.
You go into Corparin's room, and now it's Luke playing a Corparin flute.
Oh no.
Because if Corparin was going to be an instrument, he'd be a flute.
Can I be a pan flute?
Nope, just a regular flute.
Oh.
Sorry. No, he's a recorder.
I might be biased, but I definitely think Corparin is a triangle at most.
I'm not square.
No, definitely a recorder.
Luke just plays it well enough that makes it sound better than it is.
So,
Curse.
I have a question for Bryn.
Oh no.
Yes. You sort of brought it up in our little conversations, but Sigrun seems to be inputting a little bit more than, not that you're used to, because still all this is pretty...
I still am not used to it.
Oh yeah, but I mean, all this is still pretty new to you, so it's not like you have a long history to be like, okay, she's never done this before. Everything is still pretty new when it comes to the mirror. It's obviously weird because it's new, but how how does Bryn feel about it after sort of hearing about all these other people in your group specifically who have had voices in their head or things talk to them, Trentamir and Luke and, all these other things that you guys have just had to go, okay. And now you have one of your own. And so far, though the initial interaction with Sigrun was a bit violent, she has apologized and...
Yeah, exactly. She regrets it.
So...
Which she said she did.
How does Bryn feel now being part of this interesting club?
Don't forget, she was in my head too. You didn't have a monopoly on the Ice Queen, Bryn.
You don't know who
I know.
that is.
I haven't told you that I had an actual conversation out loud with her, or I had a conversation, I guess,
Nope.
or what it was. So, still don't know that one yet. It's weird to her still. She never thought she'd have someone talking in her head like that. He's like, that's Nori's thing. It's not my thing. So it's definitely weird. Especially with like the little comments that she made. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be interesting.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. We're gonna have to see where it goes, kind of thing. She's like, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to handle like having her comment on random things, like the whole like I don't talk like an imbecile or something like that. She's just gonna like, oh shit, she's gonna distract me.
It's already happened a couple times.
Exactly.
You're going for an overhand swing, you imbecile.
She's gonna be
Oh yeah,
comedian
that's gonna be
relief.
interesting with fighting if she ever pipes up.
Well, that's something else that,
We have no idea yet.
Has Bryn considered the idea that Sigrun may be able to take over? Like, we don't know the extent of her abilities yet, but you've already seen Corparin actively let Luke take over.
and unactively as well.
Yeah. Which I should be more concerned about, but
I haven't thought about it. Because I have not thought about it. I
I
mean,
think for Corparin,
like-
sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I think for Corparin, it's largely intoxication based, and the fact that you have this positive relationship with the spirit inside your head. But I could be wrong, but Bryn's definitely feels more insanity based.
No, she's my best friend. Or was my best. She was my childhood best friend.
Okay, go back to your psych ward bed. But yeah, no, it definitely feels more insanity based, and I don't know. I feel like if she was at that threshold, something probably would have happened already.
Sigrun's really not talking to her. It's just her figment of her imagination, and we just can't hear it.
Hey, imaginary friends are real, okay?
The imaginary friend was in my head, even if I don't know it. So there's definitely some bit of realness there.
Yeah, Bryn, I haven't really thought about the whole taking over thing. I know, like, Val, you and I have talked about that a smidge.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Brenna hasn't really thought about that part. She's, she said, oh, we can help each other. Okay. Like, we'll see where that goes and how this happens. But she also knows Nori is not the happiest with this, and she doesn't want to completely alienate her wife if she does, her wife and her, and fuck that up if she can help it.
Does the fact that her being the Sigrun that you grew up with sort of make it a little bit easier to maybe not trust, but be a bit more open to a positive relationship with it?
Yeah, I think so. I was like trying to figure out when that dropped. I was like, oh shit, fuck, okay. Because before it was, oh, it's the pre-Ice Queen, like she was my ancestor. Okay, yeah. But then as soon as that happened, I was like, fuck, Bryn grew up with her. Bryn, that was like, they were best buds. They were fighting. They were playing. They were doing all the things together. Like, there would be very little reason for her to be like, I don't trust you completely. You know, like, I don't trust you at all.
Yeah.
You know, sure, there's a little bit of like, this is a little strange. You know, she knows it came about in a weird way. So, like, she doesn't trust that necessarily, but she definitely trusts Sigrun more. Because of the fact that she's like, oh shit, yeah,
That's her.
that was you.
So, breaking it all down, if this is pre-Lichy Ice Queen that is in this mirror, and she is the Sigrun incarnation that you grew up with, obviously, how does Bryn think that works?
No fucking clue, man.
Just,
I don't know.
just letting it ride and see where we go.
I'm so bad at thinking about that shit. Like, I could never be a DM because I'm like, there's no fucking way I'd think about that. I'm like,
Well, I mean,
I gotta think too much at work. I don't want to think in DM.
understand.
How does Bryn
She
feel
has
that
no clue.
it's only been Sigrun who's been talking back, but she knows that she's seeing someone else in the mirror besides Sigrun?
No, she hasn't.
Didn't you meet?
Or what do you mean, Floki?
Yeah, but only one person is Only one person is talking. All of a sudden.
Sigrun no, she figured that one out. She told her what happened. She's a little worried about him, but she said that she got rid of him, basically, it sounded like, right? Yeah. So she's like, she knows he's not around anymore. Whether that means good or bad thing, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question then.
Said the intruder was gone.
So when Amrek, after you had that initial conversation with the Ice Queen, or Sigrun or whatever, and Amrek kind of came out the next day with Polly and was like, and kind of told the group about that weird situation where he was reading and he just like overheard a conversation in his head. Did you make that connection, or was that like, okay, that happened?
Definitely. As soon as I went, oh shit. I was like, I probably shouldn't hide this one. Poor guy's gonna think he's gone crazy with me. But it's fine. Well, you might be.
We're all crazy.
Just in our own special way.
No, you're just psycho. My brain is like dead tissue.
Are
Deteriorating.
you just like a radio signal?
Probably.
I do want to talk about that and figure out how that happened, but I also don't know how to bring it up.
Organically bring it up.
Yeah,
If
'cause
anything,
like,
I feel like it's probably tied to whatever is bringing Amrek back to life, because when he reached this kind of milestone with Polly, he saw into his head. And other than Polly, you're probably the person he's the closest to. From my perspective, that kind of felt a little bit like it. Like,
he better freaking be. He's my best freaking friend, man.
he's got these kind of weird.
We got matching
connections
tattoos,
to
and
you
you're
guys
gonna
for
say
some
we're
reason.
not close? I'm sorry. What, sir?
I-
Bring that back.
Did that happen in this timeline?
I mean, he hasn't dreamt about you yet. So
Yeah, the
'Cause we
tattoos
haven't slept
happened
in
in
the same room.
that port town. The terrace.
Bryn's lacking in the friend department.
Well, now she has one in her head.
It's my best friend too from childhood. I got my best friend from childhood and my best fighter friend. I'm great. Plus my wife, who is my other best friend, because you have to be.
I will get into Nori's question. If everyone was an instrument, what would they be?
Bryn would be an axe guitar.
I feel like a porn would be drums so he can get banged a lot.
Just for the pun.
And bongo drums too, so it's open hand slapping.
Not gonna lie, I definitely went to bongo drums first when you said drums.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking Amrek would be like a bass or something. Bass?
Amrek's got to be like maybe an out of tune bass. He definitely can't be something that sounds good.
Didgeridoo.
There you go.
Wow, 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 wow. And then Bryn's just death metal guitar.
Nori is definitely a triangle. Something, if not a very simple instrument.
She's maracas.
My dude, she is not a simple being, though.
She's maracas. I could totally see Nori just holding some maracas. Like, if the group had to play a bunch of instruments together, she's just...
She had the maracas actually at the Bard-off, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, too.
I feel like she's paranoid enough that like she's like a pair of maracas inside of a pair of maracas. Inside of
A nesting doll of maracas.
I'm almost proficient in maracas. I should really finish that proficient.
I feel like Rachel would be like a synthesizer keyboard. So he could be pretty much any sound he wants to be.
100%.
Rachel is an AI that's in control of a one-man band.
He's just a soundboard for everything.
Yep. Just a DJ soundboard.
He's the FX effects that when you want like the crowd to go wild.
Yeah, he is definitely the Mexican horn.
Oh yeah.
What about Polly?
Something classy, I feel.
Polly would be a harp. Like a big stand-up, heavy as fuck, cumbersome, and a little bit glitzy, but is this delicate little music behind it. But takes 3 people to move from room to room.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Or like a giant stand-up bass. Because same concept. Overly cumbersome to move, but still can make some music. And then the other question Nori had. What's Bryn's pet name? Me and Bryn know. Do you?
I do?
Yeah.
Why am I blanking?
I inputted a bunch of things into the world just to hopefully help make the pet name stick. You peanut?
Oh. That's not Nori's. That's Nori's nickname.
Well, it was your pet name for her,
No.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't know that yet. Thanks for spoiling that.
Oh no, there's time. Don't worry. There's plenty of nuts out there to change.
There
it
are.
to.
There are many. Maybe cycle through them
Yeah.
every once in a while.
Oh yeah.
Haven't found a way to do it yet though.
Don't worry. I'm still gonna get you that list of nuts. Pine nuts, peanuts, corn nuts. You can work with those first.
Don't forget about almonds.
But you know what's not on there.
I do.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Don't ask a porn. You don't want the answer to that question. Anyway, let's continue on. So, say you guys get to Nori and figure out whatever it is that they're dealing with, and say, for the sake of this thought process, you guys find all of Luke's remains in this dungeon, temple, whatever it is. You guys get it out, and the next leg of your journey is to go deliver it to his location. What are you guys because of how things have gone, and the fact that Rachaw's no longer part of your guys' group, at least physically, would you guys want to immediately go to drop Luke's remains off? Would you guys try to, okay, since we got this portion done, try and meet up with Rachaw? What is your guys' thought process on the whole Rachaw thing and how to possibly link back up with him? Or
Bryn's mad at Rachaw.
What?
Bryn's mad at Rachaw.
Based off of what Polly said, Corparin's just like, it's Rachaw. He'll find his way back.
Like, Bryn feels that, but she's also mad at him, so she's like, meh.
I mean, the real question comes down to Amrek. He was the best bud.
I mean, if anything, Amrek would kind of understand, because if I remember right, Amrek's kind of the one that, or Rachaw was the one that kind of shared a lot of the info that Vela gave us. Kind of for that reason was that he didn't really want to drag the group into it, if it wasn't necessary. And I don't feel like it's that far of a leap for Amrek to think that he kind of left because he didn't trust us to not do it just because it's him, even if it wasn't something that we necessarily wanted.
Well, I mean, how does that sit with Amrek specifically? The whole fact that Rachaw wanted to say something because he didn't want to force anyone into something, or at least so they had all the information to choose, and then, at least to Amrek, Rachaw up and goes and decides, I don't like that everyone chose to go with me, so fuck your guys' choice, I'm going on my own.
I mean, if anything, he's frustrated that he split off and didn't take me with, because now I'm stuck with Corparin.
It's understandable.
But no, I think Amrek is reserving judgment. Because it's more along this thing where, like, Amrek would probably think that Rachaw was hoping that at least one of us would not want to go, so that he could potentially do it on his own. And because none of us did that, that was when he turned into that, like, well, fuck this, I'm off.
So Amrek's not worried at all that the fact that he told Rachaw that his undead thing is connected to his red stone, that wasn't a driving factor for Rachaw to be like, ooh, I don't trust this.
It is a worry, but it's also a thing where, like, what are we gonna do about it? He's gone. None of us can keep up with Rachaw. If he doesn't want us to find him, we're not going to find him. Yes, it absolutely does suck, but what's gonna, and perhaps he really does have a good reason, but overall, like, there's really nothing that can come of that. That we can do about it.
Yeah.
Not unless we happen to just run across him in the middle of nowhere.
Okay. If anyone ever has any questions for me, feel free to jump in, or else I'm just going to burn through these questions that I've got. So, in that case, one of the things that we've already talked about is the possibility of this being a multi-step process, this whole Luke situation and getting his remains. And Bryn brought up the case in point that this might make us go to all the corners of this island to possibly find all the pieces needed. But remember, this is a chain of islands. Altogether, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 separate islands.
This poor man was a victim of a horrible, horrible crime. His bones scattered across 6 islands.
I mean, you guys thought about that being the possibility rather than just this one island?
Yep, right now I did.
I'm hoping that it just was all on one island.
Now that you've said it, I'm like, nope, that's what Val did. Especially with Corparin going, hoping it's just on. Nope. Now it's not on all the islands.
I mean, Corparin wouldn't automatically his original thought was like all of his bones would be together because that's what happened.
Weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, well, they're not all together. Where the fuck are they? So he's expecting a wild goose chase, but he's hoping that they just somehow spread themselves across this one island.
I mean, that brings us to the next question. Obviously, the use of bones for things has happened in the past, but why Luke? Why this amount? Like, this such elaborateness. What is your guys' thought process on why?
I told you, I know think.
I am fighter, I smash.
Is it? Yeah, I guess that's it at this point.
Is it in reference to like him being turned into a chest and stuff?
Yeah, why? I mean, he had already had his soul bound to a lute.
Mm-hmm.
And now his body spread across. I mean, you're thinking about it, his bones being used for this, beyond the fact of just getting the bones. I mean, why else would someone do this? Obviously, you found out that this happened not too long ago, so this must be someone did this for a reason, not connected to the whole loot situation. You guys even thought about the fact that you guys might be solving a different puzzle altogether?
Oh no.
Like it's just multiple layers of someone else was supposed to come and find this chest with Luke's head on it, but we discovered it first, kind of thing.
To a degree.
Well, with the thieves' camp that was kind of left behind, I mean that was concerning. I feel like we've walked into like some kind of like the Black Hand kind of situation where it's all like we just stumbled upon a smuggler ring or something like that, and just so happens our mission lines up to their idea of we're gonna get away with this, and now we're gonna get hunted down because now we have the bones, or even the chest that we don't know what's inside of it quite yet. Someone might come looking for that chest, and I'm concerned.
Well, something of this, so far, just the first step of this elaborate of a nature. It's not a simple, oh, this is where we stash our smuggling operation. Because, if it is a constant, ongoing thing, you'd want to be able to access your stuff pretty easily and, fill it up, sell it, do whatever you need to do. So the fact that there's all these layers, possibly, to a situation infers that it's something else.
I feel like he's wronged someone, and they have come back to life to enact that, so his soul can never go to rest. And we are going to get on that person's bad side.
I don't think it's even necessarily that, because I feel like if to Val's point, like it was kind of a thing that happened in different time periods, and if it was just someone who Luke had wronged, I feel like it would have been.
Talk to Cassian, whatever his name is. He was alive thousands of years ago, and he's on this earth, or this whatever it is. There are beings of many millennia.
I mean, Luke, from our understanding, and Corparin's understanding, Luke was alive quite a while before we were.
Mm-hmm.
And
So was Tifa.
Yeah. I don't remember bringing up to you. She's like a whole.
I'm just saying, you guys are saying he was alive so long ago, so were other people.
Yeah.
Like, people have come back to life.
Yeah.
Like,
but I think regardless,
there is a possibility.
we're definitely making some kind of powerful enemy right now. And it's not great.
Well, one thing that, if you read the subtext of that talk with plants, there was 2 people that were at the tree the last time the nearby trees felt someone nearby, and Ted died. So, at least not just one person that's involved with this.
Yay, 2 new enemies. How special.
Maybe even more. Woo.
Ooh. So, this might be just a nice melding of 2 entirely different plot points into one facet that you guys are just like, yeah, now we'll insert ourselves.
Or it's just Pawn fucking with us again.
They just ruined everything. It's Pawn and Elinade the entire time.
God damn it, the worst duo.
The best duo.
That's why the
Depends on
island.
how you look at it.
That's why the island is so fucked up. Is because
Everything we've learned about Elinade almost being dead, just a prank. Psych.
Yep, it's the long con.
we get to the bottom of this dungeon and there Elinade is just chilling out on a couch. He's like, "What took you guys so long? It's been almost like 5 months."
Did you get the loot before or after we met Pawn?
After.
We
After.
had met Pawn the day prior.
Yeah, because it was literally your last night on the island.
Could be a long game from Pawn. Just saying.
Yeah.
Could be the
Like,
long,
let's see how
the
long.
Pawn.
Yes, exactly. Let's see how long we can string these idiots along to do this. And then every time we don't go to it, he's like,
I mean,
we're gonna make it a little bit harder, just
Luke
like you
is
said.
4 letters, Pawn's 4 letters. I mean,
Oh man, it's adding up.
the stars are aligning.
If the stars are aligning on this case, I don't want it to, because I don't want to deal with Pawn's fuckery.
But it's fine. It's Pawn fuckery and not
But he has
ungodly
If
fuckery.
this is the case, he has an accomplice this time,
Yeah, Elinade.
for what we know.
I mean, it's gonna be anybody's gonna be eliminated.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also to go back to something we talked about prior, when Nori did her commune, she pretty much got a hit on everything except Celestials. So, I mean, you guys, there's some shit going down. But what do you guys think about the fact that she wasn't able to derive any of the planes that were affecting this area?
Oh, we're in danger.
I don't think either the planes are switching, like, they're just such a meld mess that she can't hook onto one specific one, or the island is somehow always constantly changing and it's just there's no direct answer to that question.
Everyone, make a history check.
Oh boy. I gotta roll it. Hold on.
Can I use my devil's own luck on this one?
Nope.
Mine's about average at a 6.
I got a 7.
It's all down to Amrek.
Is it open yet? Hold on, it's still loading. There it goes.
I just
Is that
rolled it
history,
in
right?
D&D Beyond.
Nope, I got a 9.
You know what?
I mean,
Sounds about right.
It could be a lot of things though, like who knows, maybe there's actually not any influence or not that much. Maybe like it's like smuggling rings where these devil toads got brought here and they became an invasive species and now they're just here.
Would have been tremendous if Corparin had banished one, though.
Why?
Because if Nori was inside of it when he banished it,
Oh,
and it
yeah,
goes back
sure.
to its home plane,
Oh god.
which means it doesn't come back,
Oh shit.
Nori would have a much bigger problem than just being in a dungeon.
Corparin would be dead.
I don't know,
I would've-
guys. It just all of a sudden disappeared in the midair.
I have pretty good
You
deception.
do.
I have pretty good deception. I mean, he would
Maybe
spoil-
against strangers.
he-
Like
he would
you've
spoil.
literally called me mom. You don't think mom knows your tells? Excuse me?
Start scratching.
Exactly.
From the person who's literally waiting for you to look at me wrong so I can kill you, you would not survive.
Corparin's all like, Dad, can you go pick someone up for me? Pick up my friend from school, please.
Lori would be so happy to get a visit from him wherever she's at.
Oh yeah.
I
She
mean,
would just love it.
if the case is that those hot frogs are from hell, she's taking a trip to my home, to the homeland,
To the motherland.
to the Maran.
Like how I made it German and you made it Scottish.
I can't do German, okay? I might be German, but I'm not German.
I have a question for Corparin.
Dun, dun, dun.
When we were talking on the beach, why were you so nervous about Bryn talking to you? Like, I know Amrek was there and being very threatening, obviously, as he is. But, like, Bryn was not being threatening. She was not trying to be threatening. She was, like, trying to talk.
Is it least to say that Corparin has become used to rather being threatened or talked to?
No, I get that, like, we've messed around and we've smacked you a bunch. But, like, I feel like that time, like, those times, it's always been... you know, something has happened and Bryn will go, fucking Corparin, and like, then, you know, smack ya. But this wasn't one of those times. Like, she was like literally like worried and like asking you a question about why are you avoiding this, or like trying to have that conversation.
Except you're brainwashing for it. You only get abused when you do something wrong.
Anything in anyone's eyes can be considered wrong, and Corparin's is involved. So it's, but it's hard to, it's like not a concrete answer, I guess. He hasn't really like, besides Bryn having like the serious talk, it's like, I guess we haven't really had the like that kind of heart-to-heart about other things.
Well, you realize I've tried.
Yes.
I tried earlier on and it went nowhere.
Yes. And it's also kind of just of Corparin's own view of Bryn.
Try getting laid too.
Yes, I know.
She's not as successful as Rachel was.
I picked the wrong gender.
Rachel did too, on multiple times.
No, apparently he didn't. Who did you go to bed with, Corparin?
Get you-
The one Rachel. Exactly.
Technically, to get you laid, you have more success with women than men so far.
Concerning.
You always get what you don't try for.
Which is, I mean, it took almost how many months to get Rachel to understand that? But Corparin was always too drunk to remember that Rachel helped him. Yeah, I don't.
Okay, so I have to get Corparin drunk to get him out there. Gotcha.
He may not be a bard anymore, but I guess bard tendencies tend to stay. And it's just,
You had these tendencies before you were a bard.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's why the transition to bard is so easy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Corparin's like, ooh, now I just get to lean into it.
Which was horrible because I shouldn't have. Yeah, honestly, it caught me off guard. Out of character wise, it caught me off guard. The conversation, I was not prepared to have a.
As a third party looking at it, to be fair, Corparin, whenever you get one-on-one talked to, you're usually in trouble.
That
9
is
times,
fair.
unless you instigate the conversation, when you're doing a one-on-one conversation, you're usually on the defense, like, heavily, or just getting straight up yelled at. So, I can understand why this all of a sudden
That's fair.
getting summoned to the principal's office.
It wasn't even summoned. I went and joined him in the freaking room.
I know, but
All of them
it's
because
how
he
it
walked out.
seems to Kapoor whenever anybody wants to talk to you. I need to talk to you. It's like, oh God, what happened? Oh, don't hurt me. And you're bringing Amrek? Oh God.
I
He
said
didn't
no.
bring Amrek, he followed.
He doesn't know that.
Kapoor didn't notice Amrek was there until later.
But that's how I see it. It's just Kapoor always gets yelled at, so he's just already like, what's going on?
It was Bryn trying to extend an olive branch / ask for like someone to talk to kind of thing. So that's why I was like, fucking damn it. Well, you have to realize that like literally it was the day before Bryn slipped on the RX thing. She woke up to Nori being nowhere to be found when she wanted to talk to her. And then she found Corparin and she's like, I feel like Corparin, I could talk to Corparin about this because like he was the one I fucked up with. Like, you know, I messed up to him. Nobody else knows about this. Like I can tell him what happened and why it was such a big deal. And I can tell him like I don't know what to do. You know, and he might be able to kind of help.
You definitely had the right mindset in that Corparin would have been willing to help if he hadn't already gone through the trauma of, as Val said, like basically always being on the defensive. I mean, if you lay that out to him, it would have been a different story.
It probably didn't help that Amrek was following us.
But definitely beating around the bush with Corparin is a really big no-no because he doesn't know what it's going to.
Well, she wasn't trying to beat around the bush. It's like she noticed that and she's like, what do you mean you're worried, you're scared? Like you shouldn't be scared. Like she was trying to like
pump up the bard.
Yeah, pump him up, and he was just like, eh. I'm like, I can't do anything right.
I suck.
That's basically what happened. She was like, well, shit.
And then she went outside and threw Amrek like a rag doll.
That was like a couple days before.
Oh, I mean, at least she replayed it in her head to make herself feel better. So I've actually relayed this information to Corparin already. But the Minotaur, the naughty Minotaur, is actually a changeling. Hence why they said they can make anything happen for you. And so the female Minotaur and the male Minotaur, same person.
Just different shifts in forms.
Yep. And the reason they chose Minotaur is because they had the name, so, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Might as well.
When do they sleep?
Gotta stick with the thing.
Enough drugs and you don't need to sleep.
That's healthy.
Well, they run that establishment. Healthy's probably not on their radar.
And offers full service.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that amazing?
You're the one who picked it.
You guys are also one of the few people who have been like, hey, we're going to stay here a few nights in a row. So they probably usually don't have to work too often. It's more like a nighttime scenario and probably only for like a few hours of a block. So they usually get enough sleep.
Oh, we were running
like,
corporate
God damn it.
ragged.
Yep.
It could have disappeared and we would have been completely fine. We were just like, we're going to go up on our day.
Oh, as soon as you guys like went to bed to go to sleep, they, crashed and got some naps, but
Oh, poor guys.
yeah. But yeah, that's why they can offer anything that you wanted. Literally.
And the one person that was alone in their own room because they planned it that way because they didn't want to share a room with a possible murderer,
Future murderer.
future murderer. I did not need to end up in that hot tub, face down.
No comment. On any of that. Or
Never
the songs
mind.
that it reminded me of. Now,
Oh, God.
so with the, you guys know that at least this island specifically has a few towns on it. You guys have been to one already. You know there's one on the east coast, and then there's one on the south. Have you guys forgot about those? Because of all the flying and everything you did, you guys could have been like, we don't need to exhaust our flight capabilities by going directly into the middle of the forest. We could probably find that eastern island, that eastern town, and chill there. You guys half thought about it for the town you guys had been in so far, but no one even brought up the fact of looking for the other town.
Yeah, we heard that we should stay away from people, and we took that to heart.
It's just that one side. It was just the ship.
Yeah, the Dragonborn crew.
We take one thing and we take it to the extreme usually.
We will not look at people again for years.
We will move into hermitsy.
We will all
I think
become Nori.
Yeah, Nori heard the possibility of being banned from somewhere, and she was like, "Okay, never speaking to anyone ever again."
You know, that list hasn't even restarted yet, and we can add a people, or we can add a group to that list of places that she cannot be.
A merchant company, yeah. You guys are blacklisted.
Awesome. The one awesome transportation that could take us around the world has been cut off to us.
And the sheer fact that now everyone else who wants to go on these ships has to pay like 5 times the amount that you guys had to pay. You got 3,000 per. Yeah, it was a lot per person.
Yeah. I don't think it's that we forgot. I think it's that we're focused on finding the thing, so people are focused on that and not necessarily finding the town, even though it probably would have been a good idea to do that too.
It's all like, it's going to be in the forest somewhere. Let's just stay in the forest. And then we got horribly battered. But we still never gave it another thought that we should stay. Probably find a safer place to stay.
I thought for sure people would have been like, because Nori vehemently asked where exactly every road outside of this town went to. And I said, the one going east, directly east, goes to the other port town. She's like, all right. And so when you guys passed by where the port town you guys were staying in was, and said, should we go there? I thought for sure she would have been like, hey, we could just go in the opposite direction and stay in the other port town. Nope. It's like, nah, let's keep going. Let me burn another spell slot. And then get myself trapped in a dungeon. I mean, obviously she didn't know that was going to happen, but she should have.
She took initiative and she knew that she was going to find.
I allow her to blame it on that it was pretty late at night. The brain cells go to sleep. Slowly but surely. Some people go completely to sleep. Either way, whether it's just a few brain cells working or the entire brain shut off, they all wake up in a dungeon.
I love the expression on her face as she slowly realized what was happening.
Yeah, I was like, and you fall for a minute and a half. Oh no. And then you free fall for another 100 feet. Oh no. And things are flying past you as you're rocketing to. Oh no.
And she honestly did slowly wake up. And she's like, okay, I'm traveling. I'm looking. Oh crap. Oh crap.
And then once the map loaded in, she's like, oh shit, that's huge.
I thought like her piece would be like the size of like a quarter. It's like.
Yep.
It's like Belladonna showed up on the map.
Yeah, about.
Belladonna is like a single rock in this 5x5.
Yeah, we're just not even going to bring Belladonna out. It's going to be way too hard to have to focus on moving her around.
she's just when it's a dangerous situation, she's constantly with Corparin. That's all we have.
Nope, she just goes invisible and slowly backs up towards a wall.
Even worse, then we forget her behind, and she wonders why we do that.
No, she'll watch, and if you guys take care of everything, she'll go in that direction. But she's just like, nope, deuces. Ain't a part of this life right now, buddies.
She Homer Simpsons.
Yep, back into the hedge. So, unless anybody has questions, we'll start to wrap things up here. What do you guys give yourselves on out of 10 successfully getting out of this with at least all of your team members alive?
Considering where Nori is, 2.5.
Well, like, do you mean like this, as in that
Just
room,
this
the
dungeon
whole
room that
thing,
Nori's
the
in.
quest, like?
Just the room that Nori's in.
I think we made good progress. I mean, depending on if we can actually get to her and help her and find the piece we're looking for.
I'm just saying, what do you guys give yourselves out of 10 of getting out of this room alive?
A solid 6.
Okay. Got 2.5 and 6, Bryn. Where are you at?
I think if we can get to Nori, I'll give us a solid 7.
I was like, we went from numbers to letters.
Yep. You're welcome.
Remember,
Big
even if you
difference.
guys get to her pretty fast, which you can do, it is a minute of sitting there and unclouding.
I don't even think that's realistic because we still have to, even in cloud forms, I don't trust us to sneak past the rocks.
Luckily, you go
I'm
fast
not
with
even
that.
thinking about that part. I'm like literally thinking if we get into that area.
And the bad part is you're gonna have to end up making a choice once you're down in this room. Either stay at the top and transform into solid beings there, or stay down on the bottom, and take the fall, or stay at the bottom, transform for a minute into corporeal beings there, and even though you'll take half damage, you still take damage if things come at you, or traps get sprung, or things happen. So that's definitely another thought process that you're going to have to deal with.
I'm not too worried.
That's
I mean-
good.
Can't be worried when your brain cells don't work half the time during session. And I'm not just speaking for you.
Ouch, Corparin.
I'm not just speaking about Corparin. I'm speaking for myself as well.
I had to clarify it for Nori as well. She has to survive for 20 minutes. Because she did say she waited 10 minutes to see what happened when she first fell inside. So she only needs to survive for 19 minutes and 15 seconds.
Until Polly calls.
Until
and
Polly
then
calls. And then she has to reply.
if we can get there and find it and enter.
The best part about it is, if it takes multiple sending messages, if she's in the middle of doing something, she's going to have to reply. So if she's in the middle of battle or something...
She's chanting a spell and she just starts... Polly just starts getting these random words coming through.
Nora, we've been trying to reach you while your car's extended warranty.
I would say, in this case of process, I'm pre-saying this for you, Nori, as well. If you are getting sended to and trying to respond, you cannot keep concentration on anything.
So she just opts out.
If you're doing other stuff, if you're obviously just sitting there and nothing's going on, then you can, split your mind between doing the two things. But if like stuff's going on and you're trying to concentrate on a spell and dodge attacks and then this sending comes through, either you respond to the sending or you drop the concentration. You either hold the concentration or you respond to the sending. It'd be a little bit difficult to do all of that plus your turn. Because everything happening in 6-second increments.
Dot. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm letting you know now, Nori, so at least you know ahead of time. It's still 20 minutes of surviving. That's a lot of turns.
190, technically,
10 turns per minute.
per minute. Yeah,
Yep.
and she has to survive for at least 19 minutes and then a couple seconds.
Yep.
Good luck.
I mean, obviously, things that she heard happened in the far reaches of this place, so nothing's directly on top of her already, but it's definitely going to be a bit of the Nori show at the start of next session, which is usual.
She is the taxi.
She's either the taxi or the one that's anxiety ridden and has to do the okay, I'm perceiving if there's anything around, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, and I'm getting it out of the way now.
We're all screwed.
She does the car inspection even when we're in the car.
Mm-hmm. She'll stop and get out, kick the tires a little bit.
But yeah,
Alrighty.
Nori's not with us. We're all gonna die without Nori. Nori's gonna come back. She's gonna survive and come back to find us all dead. Because she was not there to perceive stuff.
It depends on how you die, because if the rocks get you, there's not gonna be much for her to come back to.
Yeah, that's fair.
A lot of hungry baby rocks. Alrighty then. So, any last minute questions? Nope. Alright. So, like we do at the end of these RFIs, I'm going to pick up some NPCs and we'll see everyone's character thought on these NPCs. So, pull up the list. Okay, there's a good amount of you here. Devin. The Dragonborn Devin.
I was gonna say who?
I've given up on trying to talk about the other Devin.
Oh, the other one died in soul and body long ago.
To you guys, at least.
He's gonna come back as a BBG.
He's currently taking care of Otis, so. But Dragonborn Devin.
We're talking about the young kid who died and got resurrected, Dragonborn.
And did all the stuff with Racha, yeah. And
Good
also
kid.
went and found Polly during the first chaosness that you guys have ensued on the ship.
Good kid, wrong crowd. Wrong bird.
I mean, everyone had a little bit of dealings with him when he did bring Polly into the blood chaos of that situation with Nori.
He has gone through some shit.
He's
I
lived a
think
lot in his few years.
He has lived a lot, and he is only like the equivalent of 21, whatever that is for them.
Welcome to
No,
life in
equivalent
a
of
D&D
18.
game.
You don't think Dragonborns drink young?
First time out on his own. Imagine writing to mom, I died and got brought back to life.
It happens. He's not too special.
I like this Devin though. Too bad too bad he met us.
It impressed me that he went with Richa's shenanigans and did not question it. I mean, he questioned it, but like
He was young
He
and
didn't
pliable.
really. Exactly.
Learned very quickly.
Yeah.
All right. The gnomish storekeeper. You guys never got names, so the gnomish storekeeper of the Bin of Surprises store / bagel bakery.
I want to fix his suspenders.
No, he's just fine as he is, Corparin. God.
You don't think Corparin is that kind of person who wants to fix people's clothing when he sees that they
Yes,
obviously...
we know they are. We
If
know.
I had the chance, I was gonna fix that arm sling thingy that Charles people made.
Oh yeah. But you guys had some interactions with him. I know Nori loves that gnome.
I think Amrek spent like a whole 2 minutes when he got dragged to the shop by Corparin, and then
Amrek is still yet to figure out that stone, by the way.
yeah. Are you talking about the teleportation stone or the one that Corparin
The one
bought
that
me?
Kaporan bought you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have Nori.
I
Well,
mean, if she survives.
yeah, she survives.
It may be cursed, it may be not. Who knows?
Feel like he's doing the business on the wrong part of the world. He needs to be somewhere with more access to more craziness. But I liked him.
He's fun. He adds to our chaos.
Well, I mean, he's been full of surprises. It's literally what he is. What he sells.
What is his name? Can you
No.
tell us?
No.
No.
I will somehow butter him up, though. I will succeed if we ever meet him again.
All right, we'll see. We'll definitely see. And then last one, we'll go back a little bit here. Let's pick some bigger name people because I don't feel like explaining who is from where.
You mean you don't want our opinions on Mark, the town peasant from 3 years ago?
No. This is... It'd be interesting. Zelik. Nori's father, not father. Now, obviously, you guys all have feelings because you saw some of the stuff that happened. But as an overall, from what you've learned, Zelik has done afterwards as well. At least in the old timeline.
Well, from Kaporan's point of view, he's a definite hope he dies.
Well, yes, you want his gold coin purse.
Want his skull. I have to ask my father again in this timeline for it, but first I gotta deal with the devil that's contracted with him.
Bryn?
I mean, he's Bryn's wife's tormentor. Like,
I mean, to be
definitely-
fair, he wasn't a tormentor.
well, but he might not have done anything necessarily, but he obviously torments her and her thoughts, kind of thing.
He tossed her aside, and then only when she came back did he put out a bounty on her. And that was he doesn't know why she came back, but all of a sudden she just shows up in his city. So that usually would only happen for only a
For a
couple of
reason.
reasons. Yeah. So I mean, it's not like
I mean, I'm curious of what his reasons are, but I'm not gonna sit him down and be like, "So why'd you do that?"
Ark said
I
why he
I
did
gotta
it.
support. I know, but like, because
Yeah.
he's done a lot of stuff.
Well, yeah, but you guys never really confirmed exactly. I mean, when you guys did the whole timeline shifting thing, you found out that Arx had killed Zelik, or at least that's what you thought. That he ranked all the way up to Master Magician a lot faster and doing a lot more things. So he obviously had some sort of momentum. And then, Arx took over, and the main way that you become a Master Magician is fighting the Master Magician above you. So it was almost like a perfect way for Arx to get to kill him without it looking like a coup or anything, or a murder. So
There's definitely a lot of questions behind that. Because if Arx killed him, how did he make a deal with the devil?
My dude, where do you think his soul went? If he is a bad guy.
well, not only bad souls go down to the Nine Hells.
I know, but look
Look at all those
specifically.
Kemper souls.
I know. But I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. I mean, he was a wizard, wasn't he? So it's totally possible, like he had clones or something somewhere. Like who really knows? But
Simulacrums and everything.
yeah,
He was a master magician, so
Alrighty, well, on that happy note,
The
Yeah, thank you guys for being with me. Session Friday, 9 PST, like always. We're gonna start creeping into holiday territory, so as that comes about, if you guys have days you definitely need off or anything like that, make sure you talk with me and we all converse together. Like, I know Christmas Eve is a Saturday, so obviously no RFI that day, and probably no session on the 23rd. So, I said probably, we'll see, but that's why we need conversation, we need communication, we need to talk.
Can I just do movements instead and shrug? And
No. I need it in... I have my Discord on dark mode, so I need it in black and white. Sorry.
I get just in black and white.
But thanks again, guys, for hanging out with me tonight, answering some questions and giving some as well. Like I said, brush up on your combat tactics. Get to me if you have any questions. Feel free to reach out. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If I don't talk to y'all before then, which I should. You guys all have a great night, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good night.
Night.
Night, everyone.
Hi.